Class 10th, Science Chapter 9, Heredity and Evolution. Lecture 2. In this lecture, we shall learn that in the progeny, first, how do the traits get expressed, and second, how is sex determined. Let's discuss first. First, how do the traits get expressed? In his experiments, Mendel crossbred the pea plants having two visibly different characteristics each. Example, a tall plant with round seed and a short plant with wrinkled seeds. He observed that all the progeny so reproduced was tall with round seeds. This can be understood by considering that each trait from the parent is inherited independently and therefore two copies of a trait exist in the progeny, one copy from male and one copy from female. Let for the height two identical copies double T are in tall plant and small t in short plant, and for round seed double R are two copies in tall plant and small double r in wrinkled plants. In the tall plant with round seeds, the copies of traits can be written as double T double R and short plant with wrinkled seeds as small double t and small double r. Let's see what combinations of these are possible in the first progeny of F1 when they are crossbred. Double T and double R, small t and small r. They will crossbred and they will produce capital T, small t, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, capital R, small r. In all the four possible combinations, the result is the same, that is capital T, small t, capital R, small r. No other combination is possible. In the first progeny, all plants were tall with round seeds. Here, capital T and capital R were expressed in the progeny and not small t and small r because all plants were tall with round seeds. It means the trait tall is dominant over short and round over wrinkled in the pea plants. Therefore, tall and round are dominant traits and short and wrinkled are recessive traits. Next, let's see different possible combination of traits in F2 progeny produced by interbreeding from the F1 parents. Here, the parents' traits are capital T small t, capital R small r and capital T small t, capital R small r. Different possible combinations from these are capital T, small r, capital T, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, double small r, double small t, capital R, small r, double small t, double small r, double capital T, double small r, small double t and capital double R. In this F1 progeny reproduced to give F2 progeny, the first combinations has double capital T, double capital R and capital T, small t, capital R, small r. Plants are tall with round seeds, double small t, double small r, short with wrinkled seeds, capital double T and small double r, tall with wrinkled seeds, and small double t, capital double R, short with round seeds, and so on. It means the progeny inherits round and wrinkled, tall and short traits independently from both the parents, but only the dominant traits is expressed and not the recessive one out of the two copies. Now we know that DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid is present in the cell. It is a double helical structure. The part of the DNA that is responsible for information for protein synthesis is called gene. The genes have information for making proteins and these proteins decides the traits. These genes are passed in the next generation. Let's discuss tallness. Growth hormones regulate growth. Therefore, plant height depends on the amount of growth hormone produced. This production of hormone depends on the efficiency of the process making it which is done by an enzyme. If the process is more efficient to produce more growth hormone, the height will be more. In sexual reproduction, according to Mendel, the progeny has two copies of genetic material, a copy from each parent. Therefore, the germ cells must have a single copy. If DNA were a single long strand, then this would not have been possible. DNA is present as double-stranded chromosomes. One strand comes from male and second strand from female parent. It means the germ cells have just the single strand of the chromosomes. In reproduction, two germ cells, one from each parent, combine. Thus, once again chromosomes get back normal by having double strands. In asexually reproducing species, similar rules of inheritance are followed. Next, let's discuss how the sex of an individual is determined. In sexually reproducing species, male and female reproductive systems can be the same individual or different individuals. In such species, where males and females are different individuals, the sex of an individual is determined by a number of different ways. It may vary from species to species. In many reptiles, the temperature during incubation of eggs decides the sex of the newborn. Some animals can change their sex if the partner dies or under other conditions. In humans, it is genetically determined. A boy is a boy or a girl is a girl by birth. It means the genetic material inherited by a male is different than by a female. It cannot happen if all the chromosomes are identical and perfect pairs. A human female has 23 perfect pairs of chromosomes, a male has 22 perfect pairs of chromosomes, and one pair has one chromosome shorter. This shorter one is named Y chromosome. This 23 chromosomes is the sex chromosome. It is XX in women and XY in men. The chances of the getting X or Y are 50%. It means half the births are boys and half are the girls. Mother has only XX chromosome but father has XY chromosome. Therefore, it is the father's genetic material that is responsible, that determines newborn's sex. In the end, I summarize this lecture. Progeny has two copies of genetic material for a trait, but only the dominant trait is expressed and not the recessive one. Recessive trait is expressed only when both the copies of recessive traits. These traits are independently inherited. The DNA is present in double-stranded chromosomes. In germ cells, these become single-stranded. Combining with the germ cells from the another sex, these become again double-stranded. In humans, 23 pairs of chromosomes are present. In women, all these are alike as XX, but in men, 23 pair is different. It is XY where Y is shorter than X. The presence of Y chromosomes make offsprings male. Thank you.